Hey, what's up everyone? The Dan Sandwich here, and today we are back in automation and BeamNG.drive here in a little bit. And I wanted to highlight another one of the cars that I built in this game. This here is the first car that I built that was kind of like a more realistic take on a car. Again, if you watch one of my previous videos in automation with the Lego race car, that was obviously not a very realistic build, but this one was my first real shot at building something that was more true to life. And I thought, what better way to start but by building my kind of ideal idea of a supercar, like the supercar that I would want to build if I was a car designer or something like that. So this, it's still going to be kind of rough around the edges and stuff like that. Again, it was like really my first attempt at it. It's also my first attempt at building an interior. The interior is pretty basic. I'm just using a lot of the pre-made parts and stuff like that, but I still, got myself an interior in there, which I'm fairly, happy with. It looks pretty decent. Again, it's not going to hold up in like a design competition, but I think it, gets the job done. At least you don't have a bunch of emptiness in there. But this here, as you can probably tell, just by looking at it, it was kind of based off of at least the body, like a Lamborghini Diablo, which is, in my opinion, one of the best looking cars ever made. And then I kind of took my own kind of unique spin on it. So instead of a V12, I put a V10 in this car, which I think is going to confuse some people, but the reason why I went with a V10 instead of a V12, I'll show you this engine here in a second here. Reason why I went with a V10 instead of a V12, it's more of a personal preference, and that really has everything to do with the way a V10 sounds. I personally feel like the V10 is the best sounding engine. You hear it in cars like, obviously the Lamborghini Huracan, but also like the Audi R8, the Dodge Viper, the Lexus LFA, one of the most insane sounding V10s ever produced. I just like the way the V10 sounds better than a V12 or like even a V8, which is why I chose to go with it. This one here has 613 horsepower. It revs up to about 8,000 RPM. And I just really like the way this engine turned out. It was one of my first engine builds, as well. That turned out really well, I think. Once again, I think it sounds great too. Let's hear what this thing sounds like revving up. Oh yeah, that thing just. I just love the way a V10 sounds, and so that's why I went with the V10 in this car. Once again, you can kind of see it. This is like the Lamborghini Diablo body shape. But I kind of extended the nose quite a bit, so it comes like all the way out front. I thought that was, a nice kind of change up of the design. The car name, I named it the DSM-10 620-or/4. DSM is going to be Dan Sandwich Motors. It's going to be a lot of my more realistic cars are going to have that label on them. So most of the cars I build in automation, they're going to be like more realistic. I'm going to be calling them DSMs, just because they're mine. And then 10, because it's a 10-cylinder engine, but I also thought this is kind of like a 10 out of 10 car, in my opinion, as far as what is my ideal supercar. And then the 620/4, kind of borrowing from like Lamborghini's naming conventions. Around 620 horsepower, rounding up there a little bit because it sounds better than 613. And /4 because this is all-wheel drive, just like a good supercar should be. Now, one weird glitch that I noticed with this body, and I don't know if it's just this body, if other cars do this, so you can see on the rear quarter pin or the rear fenders, I have the left rear fender flared out quite a bit, but the right rear fender didn't come out as far, and I'm not sure why that is. I think it's just a glitch with this body. So that's not intentional. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe someone could fill me in the comments about why it's doing that, but it's a little frustrating. And then some of the other design details I really wanted to incorporate in this car I want it to be purple. I think, you know, purple cars are underrepresented. I think they look awesome, especially on supercars that really kind of stand out. I wanted to have carbon fiber wheels because I just think they look awesome. Lots of carbon fiber on this car as well. You got carbon fiber mirrors. Most of the interior is carbon fiber as well. Let me pull that back up so you can see it. Yeah, carbon fiber bucket seats. You know, the entire dashboard is carbon fiber. The steering wheel, everything like that. So lots of carbon fiber in the design here. Even the engine bay has a lot of carbon fiber there as well. You can't really see it because the window's in the way, but yeah, lots of carbon fiber there as well, all around the engine. And then, you know, I wanted to have a nice big glass piece showcasing the engine. Any supercar should have the engine in plain view, so that's what I went with there. The other thing I wanted to go with is this really cool triangular shape to the tailpipes. And I wanted them to kind of come out in the middle of the rear bumper. So kind of taking some inspiration from like Pagani or again, the Lexus LFA with that triple stack exhaust pipe situation there. I think it's a really cool design. I'm not super happy with the taillights. I think I could probably refine that a little bit better. But once again, I'm still fairly new to the more realistic cars in automation. But I still think it's a pretty good looking rear end. It's not super busy back here, but that's probably okay. The rest of the car is, you know, showing some flashes here. I love these vents over the front wheels. I think they just look really aggressive and really cool. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of my first real shot at a supercar in game. And you know, it actually drives really well in BeamNG.drive, so I'm really happy with that. But yeah, a little bit more about the car here just before we jump into BeamNG.drive and really test it out. You know, like I said, it's all-wheel drive. It's got a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. Again, that's kind of supercar material right there as well. I didn't go all out with the chassis and everything like that. So it is a carbon fiber chassis, but the body panels are aluminum. And I think it kind of gives it a nice balance. I mean, it's, you know, a little over 3,000 pounds, which is still pretty light for everything it has going on. All-wheel drive and a big V10, and it's only 3,100 pounds. So that's really good. And actually, the craziest thing too is the price that it suggests us to sell this at is $181,000, which is a lot of money. But in the realm of supercars, that's like a budget supercar right there. That's going to be something that if it was actually on sale, I think a lot of people would be really interested in, because, you know, if you can't quite afford Lamborghini money and you want something maybe a step above like a Corvette, you can get yourself one of these and kind of keep up with the big boys on the track and stuff like that. So yeah, I just wanted to get a quick tour around this vehicle here. And I'm going to take it into BeamNG.drive and test it out on the test track and do a few other fun tests with it as well. So yeah, let's go check it out in BeamNG.drive. All right, here we are back in BeamNG.drive, and we are now in the DSM-10-620/4. Unfortunately, all that carbon fiber doesn't really show up all that well in BeamNG.drive. I don't really know why that is. Maybe it's my graphics settings, or maybe it's just the way that, you know, carbon fiber exports into BeamNG.drive. But either way, the car is here, and it's really fun to drive. I'm actually going to turn off the traction and stability control completely, because this thing is actually pretty good to handle without all that stuff turned on. So let's get it going around the test track. Let's do a test lap around the test track here. Oh man, this thing just it accelerates so quickly. Let's go around the test track here just to give it a nice little warm up. You know, more for me than the actual car. Figuring out how to drive this thing around here. I'm really happy with the way this car turned out. It handles really well. Stepping out a little bit there. You gotta remember how to drive this this course. One of these days I'll learn how to drive this track. It's not gonna be today though, probably. Once I test a few more cars in this game, maybe I'll get better at it. Oh man. It does still step out when you want it to, which I think adds to the kind of fun factor of this car. If you want it to drift, it will, which is really cool. I have the bias for the drivetrain. Whoa, okay. Wow, it's sliding around a lot more than it normally does. But I have the bias set to like 75% of the rear. So the front tires are really just kind of to get this thing off the line quickly, and so when you kind of pull it through turns, it does so, you know, effectively. So it's not like a 50-50 all-wheel drive system or anything like that, but most supercars are much more heavily favoring the rear when it comes to that sort of thing. So I wanted to keep it kind of realistic there. But yeah, I mean, it's quick. It's definitely quick. I might put it in sport mode for the official lap, just because to keep it consistent, because that's what I did for the Lego race car as well. But I really like the way this thing drives, even without sport mode turned on. So there we go. That's a nice little run around the track to get myself kind of acquainted here. Let's put sport mode on, and let's give it a run around the test track. And you know, we've got this time to beat right here, 351.651. That was the time in the Lego car. I don't think this is gonna beat that, because that car is really fast. But I don't know, maybe the all-wheel drive and stuff will help this car out with that. But we'll see here. All right, here we go. Getting ready for our official run on the test track in the DSM-10 620/4. Yeah, you can really just kind of put your foot down in sport mode, and it kind of don't really need to know exactly what you're doing to get through the turns. It's still messing that turn up a little bit, but didn't take it quite as wide as I probably did in the Lego race car, if I remember correctly. But onto the straightaway here. I think I got up to like 180 when I was doing that test run, so this thing is still pretty quick. Oh yeah, here we go, up to 176 before I had to start slowing down for the sweeping left-hand turn here. Tires are still giving away a little bit, even in sport mode. Coming out of that sweeping double apex left-hand turn there. Coming up to the second set of chicanes, and that went much better. This thing just feels so planted too, like it really is solid. I'm not trying to talk up my own creation too much, but I'm just really happy that I made a car that's really good in this game. Coming up on the left-hand turn up the hill here, and then onto the last right-hand turn of the first lap. We're gonna be right around 2 minutes for the first lap, so that's pretty good, I think. Step on the brakes here. Coming up on the first chicane. Oops, stepping out a little bit there, but not too bad. Another left-hand turn. Step on the brakes here. Know what I'm doing a little bit better this time. Oh, I feel like I got the apex really nicely there. Alright, carry the momentum through there onto the straightaway once again. Listen to that V10 sing. Probably could have taken that first part flat out. I was daring enough, but you just don't want to crash in this game because there's no coming back from it if you mess up. All right, second chicane going pretty well there. Flat out through here. Jeez, this thing is just so planted. Probably could have slowed down a little bit more there. Not the best driving line through that corner. The penultimate turn here. Oh, okay. That was a way too wide. Way too wide. Onto the last turn here, though. Punch it. Come on. Not too much faster than the first lap. And a 3:55.528. So, not too bad, despite you know, that Lego race car is really, really fast. Even if I'm the one doing the driving. So, not quite as fast as that Lego race car, but still a very quick time, I'm sure. So now that we've got the test track completed, let's go ahead and see how this does on the drag strip. All right, here we are at the drag strip with the DSM-10 620/4. And once again, I'm going to be racing it up against the same car because that's what I did in the Lego one. And I don't think it's quite fair to have this to go up against the Lego car, so we're just not going to do that. Alright, ready to launch here, and we're off! Oh man, not the best launch there, and I'm actually going to get cooked by the AI, but still a really quick time at 9.664. Let's try that again. It's about 2 seconds slower than the Lego race car, but let's try this again, see if we can't get a better time here. I'm actually going to disable traction control. Maybe that'll be better? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, much better launch that time. Much better launch that time. That should help our time out considerably. Still not going to stand up to that Lego race car, but 9.39. That's pretty quick, so we'll take that. So still, the Lego race car is still the fastest on the quarter mile, but DSM-10 is still very, very quick. Sub 10-second quarter mile for what is actually a production car is pretty good. So now that we know this thing can go around a racetrack and handle the drag strip, let's see how this thing handles a bunch of police cars. Alright, so we are back on the highway. We've got traffic here. They're going to try to chase me down here in a second. We got the timer up on screen here. So once again, I'm going to unpause the game, start the timer, and see how long I can survive a bunch of crazy cars and cops trying to take me down. Hopefully it'll be longer than the 30 seconds or so the Lego car lasted. But we'll see. We will definitely see. Alright, let's go. Lots of cars already going for me off the bat there. But once I got around them, should be pretty good. Oh, another roadblock coming up here. Looks like... Oh man, I'm getting like really bad, really bad frame rate here. Okay. Alright, we're good. Let's see, 190 miles an hour on the highway. Already doing better than the Lego car, but I haven't really had many instances. Oh, here we go. All right, get around them. Get around them. Oh, into the tunnel. Oh, there we go. So that was about 50 seconds or so before the first impact. The tunnel. Oh. That was much better than the Lego car. I can still drive this though. I can still drive it a little bit. They're gonna try to smash me up here. How long can I go? Can I just keep going here before this car is completely inoperable? I'm not timing this part of the run. It's just, this is just for my own amusement here. Okay, let's go. How much farther can I go here? Oh, they're blocking up the road. I made it past there. Handling's not good because I definitely messed up one of the wheels. I think I have a blown tire. Oh, that's not good. Oh, I lost both. Well, not both the front wheels, just one of the front wheels. So yeah, I made it quite a bit farther after the initial hit, but I think we're gonna have the official time be right around 50 seconds or so. Almost twice as far as the Indy race car. Not Indy race car, the Lego race car. So pretty good, I think, overall there. So let's now that we're smashing this thing up, let's continue smashing it up even further and take it to the the Mega Jump arena and see how far this thing can go off a really big jump. All right, here we are at the car jump arena in the DSM-10. Ready to see how far this thing will go. Now the Indy, I keep saying the Indy car. Now the Lego race car made it past the 500 mark, probably around 600, 650 or something like that. So that's kind of what we're aiming for. That's the benchmark to reach. So let's see how far this thing can go. Let's get it going over this crest there. There we go, spitting fire out of that triple exhaust. This thing is really going fast here, up to 190 miles an hour off the jump. Oh man, going into a backflip and right around the 450 mark or so. So not quite as far as the Lego race car. This thing just completely flattened though, and all the way into the pool. The engine got shoved up into the well, it doesn't have a back seat, but if it did, it's probably where it'd be at. And the license plate went from the back of the car to the front. That's pretty hilarious. Let's try that again and see. Let's see if we can get any farther. I just want to see what this thing. All right, kind of take it a little bit easier over the crest there. I think I might have scraped something the first time, so maybe that'll help us out with aerodynamics a little bit here. Still getting up to 193, so same speed off the jump. And another almost complete backflip, and yeah, right around the same distance again. So right around the 450 mark. So that's going to be like the official jump distance of this car. Pretty cool. Again, this is my first like real solid attempt at a realistic supercar in automation. Nice. I think I did a pretty good job. But you know, let me know if you like this car, if you want to take it out for a spin for yourself. I'm gonna put a link to the automation mod in the description so you can check it out yourself. All right, now for a quick recap of the rankings. Obviously, I've only tested 2 cars so far, but this is how it officially stacks up, so you can see the times and stuff like that. So we have the Lego race car still in first place on the test track, followed by the DSM 10 620/4. On the drag strip, a similar story. The Lego race car about 2 seconds faster than the DSM 10. For the car jump distance at the car jump arena, the Lego race car with about 200, I think it's meters distance advantage over the DSM 10 as well. But the DSM 10 is much better at escaping the cops than the Lego race car is, with about 30-second gap between those two. So yeah, that's where the DSM-10 stacks up amongst the 2 cars that I've tested so far. I got a lot more cars like this, and a lot more cars like the Lego race car coming up in the future. So if you want to see other stuff like that, subscribe to the channel. If you want to like the video, you can do that too. But I'm still having a lot of fun in BeamNG and automation. Let's just, I'm just gonna take it off the jump one more time while I'm talking about this. So yeah, if you want to see more of this stuff, do the things you got to do to see more of this stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Let's see if we can get like a 360 here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. That's pretty good. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.